Networking is what we have been looking at. It's what we tackled in the previous video as one of the things that impacts the life or death of our startups, especially startups. Lack of networking. And today I'm going to continue with the same topic of networking. I'm Godfrey Kasozi. You're most welcome as usual. Keep watching our videos, keep subscribing to the channel, and share with others so that they get this valuable knowledge. Let us continue with networking today. People always say that when you say things in generalizing, your target audience do not get what you actually mean if you just say networking. So today I want to dwell a little bit more on examples. How do you network? Let me start with conferences, attending conferences. I tell you, there are some people, some are even sole proprietors. Someone having his own company and is almost the only shareholder there, but they do attend conferences, even conferences abroad, outside the country. They fly out and attend conferences that are related to their business. So what do you do when you go to a conference? Yeah, you know, you might go there, then you come back with nothing. When you go to the conference, number one, try to be attentive, whatever they are saying. Go with a notebook or go with your laptop if you are good at typing. If you are better at typing than writing in a notebook, whatever. Note down every main point that is being discussed. Note it down. Then, something that is very important. Look at people of your interest. You know, at the conferences, different people speak, some even from other countries and the like. Take note of them. At the time of, say, lunch break, or even at the time of going away, there is that period where people interact with each other so much. Try to get at least 5 or 10 people of your interest who have impressed you during the conference. Take their business cards and give them yours also. Take their contacts, email addresses, and the like. You know, you cannot go to a conference and fail to get someone who impresses you. So when you see people doing that interaction, don't think it is for nothing. It is for follow-up. When you go back, follow up on those leads. Send them emails. Don't fear about selfishness. Some of them might be from other countries and they have no reason to be selfish to you. Keep contacting them. Otherwise, you will go to conferences just to eat the food and they break tea and you will not get anything. I'm done with that. Let me go to business associations. In your locality, try to find out if there are associations or clubs of people doing that very business of your startup. Go there and join them. Let me give you an example, a very frustrating example. There was a gentleman, he told me by himself. He had layers, chickens which lay eggs, that is. He was in Kampala. So he told me that he approached the owner of a restaurant which had many branches in Kampala, branches in Kansanga, branches wherever. She was a lady. He approached the lady. She was a good friend of his, I think an OG. He requested her to allow him supply eggs in all her restaurants within Kampala. We call them takeaways, those ones which have chips, chicken, and omelette and the like. He said, okay. She said, rather, okay. So she stopped all other suppliers and gave this gentleman the deal. He supplied the eggs. He narrated the story to me. He supplied the eggs. At one point, the demand became so much. At this branch of this side, they need 3 eggs. Here at the main branch, we need 7 trays. The other side, they need this. It became overwhelming. He started looking for the eggs from elsewhere. All his stock, he thought he had very many layers. All his stock was finished. And you know what he told me? He told me it became too much for him. Within like 2 months, he had given up. And he even stopped doing the layers. What am I trying to bring out? If this gentleman had joined an association of eggs or layer chicken growers of layers, at those points when he was getting overwhelmed, he would get supply from some of his colleagues who are in the same association, as he buys time to replenish his stock. Your competitors are not necessarily your enemies. So, another example, if you are trying to grow mushrooms, look out for mushroom growers in your locality. Join them, pay fees. You'll get to learn a lot of things. If you're a freelance writer, I'm trying to bring various examples. There are people who have skill in writing. If you're a freelance writer, try to join writing groups. Don't think you have so much talent that you are going to do all this by yourself. No. Join writing groups. Attend writing conferences. You'll get a lot of ideas from other writers. You'll even get exposed to other things that can help you write something very fast. These days we have artificial intelligence, AI, and the like. If you are planning to rear pigs or goats, join some farmers. You know, a farmer, your fellow farmer, do you know that can even be more important than a veterinary doctor? You think you have started goats and pigs, okay, the doctor is okay. But your fellow farmer, if he comes and visits you, or a group of them, if you have joined the associations, they can point out this for you. They can tell you, you are doing this, but it is the one that killed my goats and I almost went out of this business. And the like. Those are examples of networking. Cooperatives, another example. Cooperatives are a very good example of networking. People come together. A very good example is the farmers' cooperatives. People come together so that they can sell their produce collectively. You know, selling it alone is not easy. You can be cheated by those middlemen. But if you have your cooperative, you all sell to the cooperatives. Then the cooperative sells to these other people, the businessmen. So you see that you get the market collectively. Even if you are a shop owner, you might get supplies of your shop more cheaply and even delivered to you. You may not even have to go to wherever Chikubu and the like by yourself. If you have a group of what you think are your competitors and you are networking together, you can even get better prices and the like. Someone can say, oh, you need all that kusubula, all that much? I can even deliver if it is that much. Then even your small portions of your small local shop can come within that batch, and you benefit from that. So I think you can see that isolating yourself, isolating your business makes it very difficult for it to thrive. Competitors are not your enemies, because competitors all over the place, those that have succeeded, network amongst themselves. Why don't we end there today and we meet in the next video? Let me end with a parting shot, not necessarily related to the subject. I'm going to bring something politics today. Let me talk about politics because we cannot deny it. It is part of our day-to-day life. I was listening to BBC. There was a panel of a certain program. They invited several people. There is one guy who interested me so much. He said that in developing countries, one of the enemies of developing countries is that when politicians are campaigning for positions, they use a lot of money and do a lot of lavish spending. And that when they go into office after winning the elections, they spend much of the time trying to recoup that money back instead of serving the people, because they spent a lot of money in campaigns. Did this man really have a point, or did he not have a point? Whatever you think, let me give you one example as we go. You know I'm always an example man. There is a year I have forgotten, but the campaigns of that year, I happened to be in Kampala, and there were no cars in the taxi park. And you know what people told me? That there is a candidate who has hired almost all the taxis in the taxi parks of Kampala to accompany him at the day of nomination in Wakiso district headquarters. Can you imagine? One person. And he had made banners, and each taxi had banners, and each taxi had people, occupants. So he had a convoy of taxis. Now, if it is true that they spend the time, such a man who was hired for only the nomination, what about during campaigns? How much money is such a man going to pour? And they told me his name, and he's not even amongst the most famous. Can you imagine? And he could even fail to go through. That means if next time, and they do come back next time if he goes through if he goes through next time, don't you think he will try to recoup all the money even from the previous failing? Think about it, whether it is true or not. Try to digest it. We end there today. Have a nice day, and we meet in the next video.